morning and welcome to Thursdays. This with you as I do every day. Hope you're doing well. And I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I'm trying to put up my little mic system here. Doesn't seem to. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and you know what? Let me put this off. My bad. My bad. I was listening to Don Lemon. It's how I start my day. Don Lemon show. And they're having some good conversations over there. So, good morning. Welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, as I said before. And I am back in New York, for those that don't know, here back in the Northeast in the United States, back home. And after 4 weeks, 4 months of traveling abroad, and now it's back. I cannot believe it's been that the time went by so fast, and now I'm back. So I'm excited. I have been spinning. I'm going to share some stuff with you guys because one is also this is TrendWatch Thursday, and I'm going to have you guys lead today because one is that Chris is not here. So Chris is not here, and so it's just us. Okay, can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me because I want to make sure my mic is great. Let me know if you can hear me. I I don't have a producer to let me know, but can you let me know? And if you can hear me, I can't hear. I'm not getting any response on that, so hopefully, okay. Um, can you hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We can hear you. Thank you, Jazzy Jazz. Like, is there anyone out there? Is there anyone listening to me? What's going on? Loud and clear, says Mr. Bryson. Okay, so we're here, and I am so just like yesterday. Can I tell? I don't even know where to begin. Yesterday, I arrived. I should say, I was here with you guys, and then Adrian went out and ordered some food. Went downstairs to have some food. The next thing you know, I returned back up here to my own little office, my little cave here, and I decided to finally finish packing. I finally cleaned up everything I needed to do packing wise. And then I laid in the bed, and it was like one, I think it was like one, maybe it was 2 o'clock at that point. Yeah, I think it was like 2 o'clock. And then I was knocked out to 8 o'clock last night. I woke up like 8:30, 8:15, somewhere around there. My body is so exhausted. So I am just gonna go with the flow. When my body says sleep, I'm going to sleep. So but it's been good to be home. And so let's say good morning to some folks. Oh, did I say Chris is not here today? Chris is on the road. He and his hubby are traveling. He needs that time to get out there in the world. And so it's just me, but it's me and you. So it's never just me because I have you. And we can talk about what's trending together. Today is our Trend Watch Thursday. We talk about what's trending. And so there you have it. It is our Trend Watch Thursday. Also, I want to let you know about our channel. And I've been working overtime, y'all. I don't know if you've been seeing the notifications popping up on your feed. There's a reason why there's a lot of notifications popping up on your screen, and I will show you that right now. So I've been working diligently. One is to free up space because I was traveling, and I could not do this effectively traveling. And but now I am on it. So if you can see, um, if you look at this, here, all I added like 12 new lessons onto our community, onto the video section of our Touch Base Daily community. So, like for instance, 7 ways to help you capture minimalism, seven texture hunt photography tips, mood through weather, how to photograph nature in the city, photo series ideas, The World in Blue. A lot of these you remember. You remember these lessons, and how to photograph abstract close-ups. Smartphone macro magic, explore the tiny world with macro lenses. How to photograph for Black History Month. Also, 10 photography tips for those who want to feel movement. 7 ways to photograph the world with fresh eyes. How to set up and make money creating better stock photos. Yes. And it goes on. So I've been working overtime between sleeping and being here. I've been working to get all these lessons on YouTube so that way you can go to them and also recommend them to your friends. So you can have them. They were once when we were doing it with the show, like our regular Tip Tuesday, we always have the show and then we go into it. But these are the cut sections. This is just the lesson without all of the other stuff. Okay, so that way you know that. And let's see here. Hold on a second. I want to change that here and change that here. It should not be a problem. Okay, so yeah, so I want to make this better for you all. So again, if you want to go back to some of those lessons, the video lives here on YouTube in its video form, short video form. And then, if you want, these will also be at some point attached to the Patreon verbal lesson. Okay? The verbal and written lesson. Okay? Does that help everyone? Does that help everyone? Is that making life easier for you guys? And all you have to do is put in the search what you're looking for, and the video will come up. Again, so many folks say they don't know how to do certain things in photography. Well, here's a whole lot of photography lessons that keep going on, right? All these lessons that we've done are all right here. Okay, so there you have it. I wanted to make sure that you all got these lessons. Also, if you're in the building, make sure you hit the like. Also, if you're not here for the first time, or I should say you're here for the first time, hit subscribe and hit notify. That way you're always in the know when we're popping on as a community. And again, for those that would like to become members, join the membership here. I mean, just go down at the bottom and just become a member. And what, $3 a month? I think it is, or something like that. I don't know what it is, $3 or $4. I have no idea. But anyway, it's very minimal, and you can help this platform by becoming a member. Okay, membership. You'll see in the comment box. Everyone that has a green, those are members of this channel. We have subscribers, and then we have folks that have taken the extra step to become members. Every dollar counts. Look, it takes a lot of time to do what we do here, and but it's here. It's for you. Let's say good morning. Let's say good morning to some folks. Okay, let's say good morning. And I will say the first person in the building with the gold is our wonderful Tanya. Travel more. She says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. I see you. And then we have our wonderful Hannah with her silver today. Yesterday she had the gold. Today she's got the silver. And she says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. And she also gave me a message that she's working in and out. So he'll be here. And she's leaving out of town. Oh, leaving out of town for a funeral. Oh my gosh. Sending my best condolences to you and your family as you travel, and also travel mercies, as we like to say, for all of us who are raised in church, and travel mercies to you and your family on the road. So I have been busy, but not busy in my yard. Have a better than great weekend. So glad you are home. I know your family and friends are too. Also in the building, we have Chris. Chris R is in the building. She says, good morning. So good to see Chris R. Chris R is in the building. And also Hannah says good morning, Touch Base Daily. Now she says it again, Touch Base Daily family. Also, Jazzy Jazz is in the building. She says good morning, beautiful people. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Beautiful people, the beautiful people. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna behave, Ron. And we can hear you. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Bryce is in the building. He is here as well. Where's Chris? Chris is on the road, y'all. Chris is on the road for a well-deserved vacation slash workcation. Okay, so he'll be back next week. Okay, so I see Kimmy Kim is in the building. She says, morning, morning, morning. And so good to see you here as well. And let's see here. Dr. Tachi's in the building. She says, hey, all. Hey, all. Oh, sorry. I got music all in my head right now. And also, Chris Christine is in the building. Christine is in the building from Thailand. She says, good morning, Ron. And thoughts on the Pam Bondi situation. Did y'all hear Pam Bondi? I do believe I read she has throat cancer. Did I read that correct? Did someone read that? Did someone know? Can someone confirm that through Google or one of our browsers or some chat GPT? Yes, I heard she has Pam Bondi. Ooh, mm. I'm just gonna leave it alone. There's so much I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. Oh, she has thyroid cancer. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, that's the throat, right? Thyroid cancer. Mm, mm. I'm going to leave that one alone because of respect. Because you know what Grandma said? If you don't have anything good to say, don't say it at all. So I'm going to be nice. I'm going to leave that alone. Hey, Fifi's in the building. She says, good morning. Elisa's in the building. She says, good morning, everyone. And so, yeah, the other thing that's trending is that, are y'all ready for this? I gotta type the banner. Okay. It says shut the F, and I'll just use some some little, what do you call it, the up. There we go. Democrats. Oh, the Democrats. I have to tell you, the Democrats made me happy today. The Democrats made me happy on their Twitter account. Not that I have Twitter, but I saw it on Don's and I saw it on some clippings. And the Democrats got a little rambunctious today. Um, Dems. I said, there we go. Here we go. The Dems said, "Shut the f up." Ah! Now, I don't know if y'all heard that yet, but and I'm not a man of using colorful metaphors, but when people do it and it's in the right context, I love it. I have to tell you, I love it I just love it. And the Democrats, they went nuclear. Said, because Steve Miller was calling he was calling someone ugly, or so he was saying Steve Miller was saying something stupid, and the Democrat Party at the official Democrat account said, "Shut the f up," and then and then the Republicans, how could they say such a thing? How could they say such horrible words when they have a president that is the worst of the worst? So it's trending right now. A Democrat saying "shut the f up" is trending, and I love it. So Anyway, am I the only one that has heard the news? So good job, Democrats. Take off the gloves. The gloves should never go on again. You have to fight, 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 fight. Get in the dirt and get dirty with these dumb Republicans. And well, not, I'm not even gonna say Republicans. That's not Republicans. MAGA and the I guess you could say the weak Republicans. So, uh, Chris says, "Well, that's Pearl Clutch. What happened?" Yes, the Democrats, the Dems showed off this morning. Who was they talking to? Steve Miller. Steve Miller, the devil himself. It was so good, so good. It was delicious, as they as they say. It was delicious. Hey, photo Ken is in the building. Also, I photo Ken Arts put photos, a post on his page, and so I also put it into our community. And Ken, don't be afraid to share. You can share your work in the community. If you post, you can put it in the community as well. Okay, so let's support one another. If you have stuff going on, you know what I'm saying. I'm not that I'm not that person that's going to say you only have to be a member to do it. No. If you are someone that shows up you're here, you're regular, and you are genuinely putting out some good work, put it out. Put it out into the community. Use our community boards. Okay? So you have permission. You have permission. Kimmy Kim says. Yes, Kimmy Kim. Oh my gosh. And exactly. Yeah, so that's what's trending right now. That's like really trending. I'm not sure if you've seen it on it's trending on social media. And I'm sure I can get some account, something up here that's has it up there. Let's see, let me see. Hold on a second. It was so it see I don't have Twitter, so I can't show the exact thing. Um let's see here. Let me see if I can get here's another one. I'll send this one on. This is another page that is quoting from. Okay, here we go. Let me share this. I know this is today. I'm petty. I know this is petty, but it's still like I said. It's part of the discussion. This is from the Daily Boulder. It says, "Shut up, you ugly," and Stephen Miller torch after launching sick personal attack against James Talarico because also he called Talarico a transgender person and was just being nasty and evil as he normally is, and so they went in. The Democrats went in, and so it goes on and on. But they said, "Shut up." To quote, see, I didn't use the quote, but here's the quote exactly: "Shut up, you ugly f." The DNC account fired back. Woo! Can, I mean, that's. I mean, obviously, I mean, I don't want to get banned, but at least you guys saw it. It wasn't me. It was definitely in the news. Okay, so that's what happened today, and it's trendy. And so, what else is going on in the world today? Uh, exactly, Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi says because they are used to the docile Dems. Democrats, you have to fight. You have to fight. You have to fight. You have to fight like you never fought before. People love a fighter. People love when you fight, right? People love when you fight. They love when you fight. So I think a lot of us who love the Democrat Party want the Democrat Party to fight. Okay, so what else is happening in the world? Obviously, the Trump administration. uh, just use some more war tactics. Or they're trying not to declare a war, but yet they're still using military weapons to hit um, Iran, and that's happening. That's trending also. Um, let's see here. Chris says, "I love Justin Pearson," and so yeah, I don't really have. Like I said, if you have nothing to share, today is your show. So if you have, usually Chris and I usually have conversations, and since he's on his rest time today. It's your show. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Um, and man, for most of the part, I slept yesterday, so I don't know what's going on other than what I saw today. Oh, yes, yes. Can we talk about this? Yes, can we talk about this? The stupid WWE foolishness on the White House lawn. Now, y'all, y'all know if Obama had did any of this stuff, they would have lost their minds. They lost their mind because of a tan suit. I'm not even going to call it ghetto. Usually we say, is that so ghetto? No. This is so trailer park, so ridiculous, so trashy. Using the White House lawn for the WWE. Mm, it doesn't get more low. I mean, these people, just when you think they've hit rock bottom, they keep boring more deeper into the earth of stupidity. I mean, really? Exactly, Chris. We have, was it very blue pools in DC to make DC greater? We have to, yes, that one as well. So that was a good thought too. Um, These are the most wanted tickets ever. Really? Really? These are the most wanted tickets ever? Uh, the DOJ. Oh, oh, oh. Now, Fifi, thank you. This is a good one. So I think we're squared away. I didn't see anyone respond anymore. Any thoughts on the WWE before we go to the next subject? Any thoughts before we go to the next subject? I'm gonna put that in the tab, and I'm gonna put that in the tab. And okay, so we have already. Are we moving on from the foolishness of the WWE? The WWE is ridiculous. Okay, let me see. One second. Okay, no one's texting me. I have to always make sure that Adrian's not texting me. So, um, the next thing, yes, y'all. The next thing that's trending is, yes, the blue watered mall. We have varying blue pools in DC to make DC greater. Insane. Insane. But think about all of this. None of this is going to help any of the Americans. The ballroom, the arch, the redoing of the mall, none of it. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars instead of using the brain and the power that's been invested in the government to help the American people is absolutely disgusting. Um, let's see here. UFC. It's not the WW's. It's not the WW. It's the UFC. Okay, thank you. They're doing UFC at the White House. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. not the WW. Okay, so UFC. Either way, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Also, the next on the list is Fifi says, let's go to her statement. Fifi says, the DOJ is coming after Don Lemon's subscribers, demanding a list of all names. And he said, well, they weren't demanding the list. They were inquiring of the list. They wanted to know all of the members and all the people that follow the Don Lemon show, which brought up, I mean, it was a good show last night with Don Lemon. He had the gentleman from Midas Touch that is a lawyer, and they were talking about these these independent streets or these online YouTube channel uh, entities, and they were sharing about how close the CEOs of Google and Facebook are with this presidency or this regime, and that there might be a day that all of this is banned. We may not be able to talk about Trump or this administration on these platforms. There might come a day where these places are restrictive, and there may be a time, and I've always said this, that's why you see me with the emails. That's why I always say sign up for the emails, because you never know when this will all end. I mean, I don't think YouTube will end it because they're making a lot of money because of it. They're not going to get rid of YouTube. It's the biggest search engine in the world, if not the number two. But yeah, so, but they did is they were inquiring the case against or building the case against Don Lemon. They were inquiring to get the list, but the judge said no. No, you cannot have the list of subscribers. So it goes to show you this government is ruthless. There's nothing they won't do, or at least try. There's nothing they won't try to do. Let's see here. Um, in June 14, not WWE. Thank you, my dude. Ken says, dude is trying the best to remodel everything in Washington so he can try to put his name on it all. Now, also including the pool of the World War II memorial. Did not know this. But you know what? When this man is finally kicked out, I need for the American people to do what others have done in history: tear down everything this man has built or put his finger on, make him a, as they say, erase him from history. As hard as it will be, they need to erase every visual thing of Trump from American society, or take his pictures down, take his name down, every single thing. And in every single person that is associated with this Trump regime, they need to put them in prison. I hope the Democrats are so strong and don't say, let bygones be bygones, but that the Democrats and the independents of this country will go all in. Like Steve Bannon said, if we lose the midterms, if we lose the 2028, a lot of us are going to prison. Well, let it be so. Let it be so that the American people will put these people down for the last time. Put them in prison. Put them in prison. Jazzy says, put, but yet this is the party that believes in freedom of speech. Please. This is the death party. This is a death party. This party has nothing to do with life. This party has nothing to do with liberty. This Party has nothing to do with justice. You see what they're doing to Eugene Carroll. Did you just see that came out today? Opening up, the DOJ is opening up an investigation of Eugene Carroll. I mean, that just came out. That was just, I think, about 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, her winning her lawsuits wasn't enough. Ridiculous. Yes. Kimmy Kim says freedom of speech. Fifi says that's what it's leading to. They're already scraping social media to find anti-data center verbiage. Yeah. Photo. Let's see. Photo Ken says with this poll numbers tanking, I believe his name wiped will be wiped from history to some degree. I don't believe it's a total wipe. Remember, those who don't remember the past are doomed to repeat it. Petty, 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 petty. Yes, I saw that. Yes, Jazzy says yes. Yep, not going to let anything go. I want this. I want every single enabler, every person that is a criminal. All these criminals that are associated with Trump and his people, this regime, they all, when the Democrats get into office, they need to clean the house like you ever seen like a disaster somewhere and you get all the bulldozers like bulldozers and cranes and everything comes rolling into town to redo everything. That's what the Democrats are going to have to do. Yeah. Don't let anything go. Just arrest them all, bring charges against them all. Yeah. And don't do what Merrick Garland did. Wait. Wait. Waited. We wouldn't be in this mess if it wasn't for Merrick Garland. I mean, they would have been put off for a longer time away. But anyway, hey, Omar's in the building. He says, "Hello, all. It's Reset Thursday." Yes. Drain the swamp, says Fifi. Fifi says, drain the swamp. Drain the swamp, drain the pool, drain the ocean, drain the rivers. Wherever these people dwell, drain it all. Total, total reorganization. They better be in them think tanks already. They're going to have to redo the whole country. They're going to have to revamp everything, reimagine the country, really make this a country for the people, really look at healthcare, education, the judicial system, the police departments. Everything needs to be revamped. Everything. Destroy it all and rebuild it. Why don't you run for office, Ron? When I was younger, some of my friends used to say that. You say, Ron, you should run for office. You're such a diplomat. I said, see, there's a difference. Diplomats are different from politicians. I'm not a politician. I could be a diplomat, but I'm not a politician. And yeah, it's just not me. Um, Ken says, is his latest Democrat babble resonating with anyone? No, no. He's an idiot. This man's an idiot. You know what? I see that. Robin says Zoran for president. I want Zoran to stay right where he is in New York as he's cleaning up New York. Give Zoran 4 years or 8 years in New York City to clean it up from all of the undercover junk that has been happening for the country. I mean, it's for New York City for years and decades. All these rich people that have got away with being mm, just nasty to the people that live there. So Zoran for president, maybe in 8 years. Okay. Also, Chris says let's put Shan O'Brien in charge of Pam Bondi's medical care. At least Dr. Oz can help her, right? And Kimmy Kim says, can you imagine getting this country on track to be the best humane society anywhere? It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work to get this country on the right track because it can't go back on the track it was. The track it was on is why we got here. So it has to be a whole new track, a whole new system, a whole new America built by the people of America. Um, Ken says to Kimmy, I look forward to that day with gratefulness. I hear that. I hear that. Omar says both political parties went to extremes on their agendas. As a moderate, I think it's time for a third party to represent the common people. Well, the third party is here. I really do. But I mean, think about it. You have the Democrats and you have the MAGA Republicans. MAGA Republicans. But you do have the independents. And maybe the independents need to create a party. You know, Ross Perot was onto something. He's the one that came the closest to having a third party. What makes other democracies work is that there's many parties, right? They have like three parties. How many? I think UK has like six parties. Was it five? I know it's like someone Google how many parties are in. Well, I could do that myself, right? How many parties are in government in UK? How many? Let's do that. How many? I'm all about the Google machine. How many parties, political parties uh, 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 are in the UK? The UK has, listen to this. As of the 25th of May, 2024, the Electoral Commission registered of political parties lists 393 registered political parties in the United Kingdom, covering both Great Britain and Northern Ireland. They have 393 registered political parties. I mean, that's not. I mean, the UK's got some problems too, but think about it. Most countries have way more. So I wonder what that list looks like. Like list every country. If I had my co-pilot open, she would just say she would give me a whole list of all of the parties associated with each country. That's the stuff. That's the geeky stuff I do when I'm not with you. Yeah. Omar, did you had to go there? It's not that they don't have dentists. The UK has lots of dentists. They just don't have fluoride in their water. Just saying. Okay, and Chris says I was the recent rehash. Chris says that I wish that a recent rehash of Tory interview, shaking my head, and girl called the main gentle. Okay, yes, Chris says recent feedback. He handled it well because game over. Fifi says, until we remove the obvious outside influences, there will be no party that's truly for the people. And that is one, Again, reshaping government. No, you must have term limits on everything. Term limits in the Senate, term limits in the House, term limits in the presidency, term limits in Congress, term limits all over the place, term limits in the SCOTUS, term limits in the courts. There should be nothing for life in America. There should be no life appointments for any position. Whoever heard of such stupid? That is the most ridiculous mindset. Why do we do stupid things in our country? There should never be any position for life. Think about that. You know what that was about, right? You know that wasn't about equality and moving the country forward. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Who puts someone in office for life? What is at the root of that? But you know what's at the root of it. What's up, my brother? He says, Miss RS Nation, how are you doing? Right? And Kristen says, and erase the damn electoral college for God's sake. Yes, these are things to keep the old order in power. It keeps these people in power. There's, I mean, could you just wrap your brain around it? When I was younger, I couldn't understand it, and I still don't get it. How is it possible that there's any judge that has a life appointment? How does that make sense? That can't be good. It's just not good. Life appointments on the federal bench. It's it's insane. And yes, one day America will be free to be America when the electoral college is abolished. When the electoral college is abolished, America can be America. There'll be no need for gerrymandering. At least for the presidency. It is ridiculous. The electoral college makes no sense. Jay Z says, Jazzy Jazz, Jay Z, Jazzy Jazz. He says, it keeps them in power for events that won't affect them. Exactly. It keeps them in power. It keeps, back in the day, it kept the slave owners in power. And again, I always say this is the one of the only countries in the world, if not the only country in the world, that fought a civil war, and the folks that lost got reparations, and nothing happened to them. For what they did was treason. And the South should have been taken care of. Those, not everyone in the South was for slavery, but most people in the South were for slavery. All those people that want to break away and destroy the country should have been put away, locked up for life until death do us part. They should have been locked up. Every single general, every single soldier, every single Confederate person, the Confederacy should have been placed under lock and key or done away with. So that's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Omar says, now that you have over 1,000 subscribers, you now have commercials. I know. I have commercials. You have arrived when you have commercials. And someone mentioned that to me the other day. They're like, Ron, you must have arrived because you have commercials. And And I laughed. Um, Bryson, okay, Sandwich, Steven, okay, Bear. Dr. Ty says no, it was easier to leave them free so they could continue to name streets, monuments, cities, etc. after the deplorables. And deplorables they are and were. And I don't know if you've been seeing something that's been trending online. Here's something that's been trending online. I'm not sure. It was a couple of people on Instagram sharing the people in SCOTUS, the racist wing. These are the children or their generation or the great grandchildren or the grandchildren of bigots, racists, white supremacists, Confederacy. These are their great grandchildren and their grandchildren. They're not that far removed. Do you think, it's like someone said to me, said in one of the postings this week, they said, do you actually think racist people disappeared when the Voters Registration Act was implemented? The Voting Rights Act was implemented? No, those people still are alive. Those people that sent postcards to their family members when they went to view a lynching. Remember, postcards were available. People sent postcards of people, our people, being hung, lynched. And those people are still around today. They're still, and if they're not around, their grandkids are, or their daughters and sons are. Right? That's why these evil people live today. That's why we are where we are today. Because again, if the if Lincoln would have done exactly what he needed to do and not focus on bringing the country together, yes, that was important. But yet, when these people committed treason, they should have got what treason. Y'all know what treason. You know what treason requires. They wouldn't have been around. Their seed wouldn't have been around. Just saying. Sorry to be so ruthless on this wonderful Thursday. But yeah, we're where we are to, my father used to say when we were growing up, deal with your demons today. Deal with your monsters today. If you don't deal with your monsters today and you pamper them, you pamper your monsters and demons and your dragons, they will come back at a later day and they will be bigger, badder, and that's what we used to say, worse, meaner, and almost uncontrollable because you let them get away. You let the demons within we all have demons that we work, that we deal with. You have to deal with them immediately so that they don't become bigger and worse when years down the road. You have to. And this, where America is today, is because America has never dealt with its demons. But hopefully, after this, we will deal with them once and for all. Jazzy says, "Did you see the CNN report on the Jazz Sixers talking about the amount of money they should receive for their suffering? I hate it here." Yes, but did you also hear what California's doing? You know, you gotta give the governor of California some credit. And now all the other governors will follow suit. Is that they said we will tax if you receive money from the federal government from this slush fund, you will have to pay 100% to the state of California for residents that receive it. And so now we hear New York is going to do it. All of the states are going to do it. This is what's trending today. We got a lot. I mean, this is a lot happening on TrendWatch Thursday. Yes, the Dr. Tachi says, yes, California, if that money ever comes to fruition, will be taxed at 100%. Made me laugh. That's actually really funny. Yeah. Yes. Christine, I'm with you. I'm surprised that people haven't pulled out of the World Cup, but money speaks louder. I feel that the World Cup needs to go somewhere else because the way they are going to start rerouting international flights, my God. Yeah, did you hear that one? These are things you can research, y'all. I'm just bringing up the subjects. I'm not using clips. You can look them up. It's what's happening. So now there's a legislation that wants to be pushed, or they want to push legislation to now have to monitor and deal with the flights or restrict flights from blue states that they call sanctuary city state or sanctuary cities. I told you, I mentioned this before. They that build walls to keep people out, but guess what? They will eventually use those walls to keep you in. Yep, that's what grandma used to say. And my college professor. If people build walls, they're building them not only to keep people out, but they want to keep you in. Omar said it won't happen in Texas. Oh no, the red states are gonna give the red states are gonna give their money, and they don't have any money to give. They need that money. Ken says the rerouting flights from sanctuary cities, a recipe for utter disaster. We're already suffering from lost revenue from tourism. Why would why would anyone from other countries decide to come to America? So many people have decided not to come to America because of the insanity. The insanity. I would if I didn't live here, I wouldn't be here. If I didn't have things to do, I wouldn't be here. Let me tell you. Mm. I keep saying to everyone, I know people say, Ron, don't say it. We all can't leave. Guess what? If something devastating happens in this country, since I'm talking to people from the United States, and you have to leave, you'll be leaving. I know most Americans have no concept of being a refugee because most Americans, for the most part, have never had to be a refugee. Most refugees are people that come from other countries and come to America. They know what it is to be a refugee. People don't leave their homes because it's like a happy trip to go somewhere. People become refugees because something devastating has happened to their societies. Usually along the road of dictators, autocrats. So don't think it far-fetched that Americans may not ever become refugees. You have to be thinking about this, y'all. You have to be thinking, what is your game plan if you have to leave America, even if you don't have the money to do so? What is your game plan if you have to become a refugee? What are you doing now to support your life if you have to become a refugee? The people of Venezuela never thought it could happen to them. A lot of the countries around the world didn't think it could happen to them. right? You have to think about it. Like I said, when I was 22 years old, I'll never forget my Hasidic boss. One of them pulled me to the side, and I was like 22 years old, and I was like, "Why do I need extra bank accounts overseas? Why do I need?" He was saying, "You need to have a bank account overseas. You need to have several." And I was like, "Why?" And then he told me about the Holocaust and everything, and what Jewish people teach their children, that they need to have offshore accounts, that they need to start putting money away for from birth, from when they're children. They teach their children to put money away for for that day that you might have to leave your country. And I was young. I was like, "What are you talking about? That's not possible." And now, 40 years later, 40 years later, look where we are in America. Can anyone say with their confidence that it can't happen here? You have to start thinking outside the box. You have to start thinking outside the box. Why do you think I went? I mean, like I said, going to Namibia wasn't just for me to just hang out and do. I mean, obviously, I did my photography and all that, but you have to start thinking, if you have to leave this country, how will you do it? We have to start preparing for the worst scenarios of what's could happen here. And I know that some of y'all don't like to hear me say that. Some of y'all say, "Oh, but Ron, I can't afford to leave, and I'm not going anywhere. I have got my kids, I got my children, I got my family, and I got yada yada." But if life becomes so difficult here, you will have no choice. And what are you doing to prepare for it? Fifi says there's a movement of Black folks online who are planning to apply for the slush fund as a form of reparation now that the reps are scrambling to repeal it. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. Dr. Tyson, most people don't want to leave voluntarily. That's their home, their culture, their language. Exactly. When people are refugees and they leave with just their suitcase, they've left behind homes, cars, houses, everything. That's why we give grace and mercy to the refugee. We give mercy. We look for mercy. Anyway, that's a whole other subject. I'm not gonna go down that road. Jazzy says, exactly. Most don't do so by choice. Yeah, being a refugee is not a choice. You've been forced. Tati said, "Better to leave by then leave by then by force." Okay, so that's our conversation for today. We covered a lot of topics. So now what do? You go dive into it. You heard a lot of stuff today. Now you go in, get that Google machine going, and start looking at all the stuff that we talked about here today, because it affects you. You know, it affects you. It affects your mind. It affects your wallet. Gas is still going up. People are suffering. People can't afford food. Food scarcity was real when it was low gas. You better believe food scarcity is increasing in America because it's happening all around the world. I just talked to my friends that were in Namibia. One of my friends went north. He said, "Ron, people are suffering." Now, and where I was in Namibia, people, it was like, just not as much. But when there's places around the world suffering because of this unwanted, needed war in the Middle East, And some of those people are going to become refugees because of food scarcity. Remember, agriculture is being affected because of the Middle East. There are some places that are not going to have a harvest because of Trump and his stupidity. There are some people in the world that are going to starve and become refugees and have to leave their lands because of Trump. So I know a sobering moment. That was sobering. I know that was sobering. Oh, Chris, this one of the reasons. Well, I was thankful that I made my decision to come back home earlier than later because I did not know what would happen with Ebola. Now I know that the media has made it really worse than it is, but Ebola is one of those diseases that, if not controlled properly, it could become a global problem. And I made sure that I was, I and I'm s- I'm looking at hindsight 2020. I wasn't thinking about Ebola when I decided not to go to Tanzania or Kenya. But East Africa is has a little bit more higher probability than South Africa. But all you have to do is have one person get on a plane, and so I am concerned about Ebola in uh, the Congo and Democratic Congo, DRC, I think it is. But yeah, we have to be concerned. We have to be concerned about anything that's an outbreak in the world, especially with this fool in the White House who did away with all protocols. Yeah, we have a lot to think about, but that's why we have prayer. That's why we have faith. But faith without works is what? Faith without works is what? Anybody in the building? Anybody in the building? Thank you, Jazzy. Faith without works is dead. You can believe, you can have faith, but you gotta also work. You have to work. So start thinking about your futures, everyone. We all have to start thinking about the unpredictable, the unbelievable. Faith without works is dead. Have faith, but put your hands to the plow. It's like the farmer that says, "Hey, I believe the ground is going to yield its fruit." Not if you don't plow. Not if you don't plant the seed. You gotta plant. You gotta plow, plant the seed, water it, take care of it, and then your soil and your will bear fruit or harvest. Works without faith without works is dead. So put your hands to the plow. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope we talked about a lot of stuff. And again, remember we have all those new lessons inside the community. If you just go to our board, you'll just see right there basic photography tips. So if you want to learn and go back to some of the stuff that we taught over the three, I've been doing this now 2.5 years, almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years come January. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, and also share the channel with other people. And Christine says, "Thanks for the round table, Ron." Yeah, this is our round table. This is us. And my girl, my she says it. She's putting it on the board. It's going to stay on the board, y'all. Take it in. Word of the day: have faith. Put your hands to the plow. Thank you, T. Thank you, Travel More. And on that note, I'll leave that on the board for you to sink in. And I'm going to let you go. Have a great day, guys. See you tomorrow. It's Friday tomorrow. It's Focus Friday. I'll see you later.